So your motion to dismiss for lack of probable cause is also denied. Do you need me to clarify that ruling for your appeal reason?
Yes, actually, because Your Honor, I object to
what
the fact
do you
that
not
it's calling it an ORB.
Sir, your objections mean okay? I don't care what you're objecting to.
Objection, Judge.
Your objection means to me.
Judge, I don't like your response. I mean, I know it's the law and everything, but this super legit book I bought off Amazon says I can literally do whatever I want. It also says all I have to do is represent myself and scream objection anytime something goes wrong, and I'll be totally fine. Like, that's definitely what this guy read.
That's definitely what this guy read? Oh, real. Oh, I'm so smart. I just made up some book off of Amazon and then claimed he's reading this book. Yeah, you're supposed to object to something that you disagree with so you can bring it up to appeal. If you don't object to it, then you have no grounds to bring to appeal. Hard concept for me to understand.
Like, who needs actual legal knowledge when you've got a self-published guide on Amazon telling you everything you want to hear, right? These sovereign citizens just crack me up, man. I mean, if anything, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to blame the schools for this one. They should really be teaching us the laws. I mean, unless you watch videos online about the law and whatnot, you're really not gonna know much as an average person. So even though these people are...
What law, though? What law? The statutes? Because that's law. Because some guy is God that got selected by the not majority of the people, the very limited, not even, yeah, because no one really actually votes, but they were selected by the slim majority, not even majority, why even slim majority? Not majority. And they're going to get to make up laws now, and now they're God. That's what you believe? That's what your indoctrination camps will teach you. Your indoctrination camps are going to teach you made up fucking law, and you don't even know law. You don't even know the fucking Constitution. You already explained that to us.
Are very idiotic and delusional. There is a blame for it, and I'm gonna have to blame the schools in this one. Let me know if you guys agree with me on this, but I believe as kids, you know, we should grow up kind of reading the law and just at least understand basic laws like this stuff here. I know they teach it in driving school and whatnot, but I think it needs to be reinforced heavily. Let me know what you guys think. Let's dive back in.
Welcome to the Freedom Unchained channel. We're going to cover a couple fraudulator videos, my reactions to them. That's my my name for these sovereign citizen channels, the Fraudulators. I stole that from them. So that's what we're going to do today. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it.
What do you not understand? Sir, your objections mean shit to me. So you keep saying, I object, I object, I object. I don't care. I don't care what you're objecting to. I'm going to hold you in contempt the next time you cut her off.
Well, I do object to the setting aside of my motion, Your Honor.
I'm not setting aside your motion. I'm denying your motion.
Well, denying. I object to the denying.
You can't object. You can appeal. Brother, why'd you just waste 5 minutes of my life? You got a motion filed?
Yeah.
This might be a good one.
I discussed before I crossed.
But the court reporter needs to pick you up.
Here, you don't have to be at the podium, but at least have a seat at that table where that microphone is.
Threats, coercion, and I'm under duress. I'll cross.
You're under duress? How are you under duress?
Well, Your Honor, as stated in my motion, there is actually a project word that since been signed by a judge. I have lawsuits filed on all of this stuff right now, which I know that they received.
Hold on, brother, wait. I'm just asking you to have a seat at the chair with a microphone.
Oh, I understand that. I'll do it. Okay. Just trying to protect myself here.
That's fine. Just make sure you're talking to the microphone.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, you can sit down. Okay. So I think this is your motion to dismiss, right?
Yeah, I have a few in there that I've been repeatedly trying to be dismissed.
Which one do you want to start with first?
Well, the recent one I filed, the motion to reject swearing in and all that based off the fact that, like I said, I was sent a default motion that, I don't know how it even got sent out past it, but it was never signed or anything. I was also defaulted out the fact that there was a citation that never even presented a court appearance.
Okay, hold on. You're giving me too many issues. You're talking about swearing in, you're talking about a default judgment. Just pick one issue. We're going to deal with them one at a time. So what do you want to deal with first?
Well, my main motion. Well, yeah, the default.
Okay, so was that on the civil infraction, failed to disclose the CPL?
I suppose that's what it was under, yes.
Okay, don't suppose, it's your motion, brother. Tell me what it is.
Well, it keeps getting
that's the only
aside,
civil
so
infraction.
I have numerous.
Hold on, that's the only civil infraction I see with your name on it. So I'm just confirming that we're talking about
it was
that
over
charge.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So do you know why the default was entered? Did you miss a deadline? Did you
Well,
not?
I was notified. I was called by people that I know within Huron and the police chief stating that I had a missed appearance date. I never had an appearance date scheduled, but I went back looking at the citation. There was no date, and actually how fast it got issued raises real concerns to me. And then once I received the default in the order.
Hold on. Let's take one thing at a time. So you said you never got an appearance date.
Correct.
Do you have a copy of the ticket? Because I've got a copy.
Yeah, I
of the
said
ticket.
it's in there. It's attached to my motions.
Okay, do you have a copy
Yes,
of the ticket?
I do.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask you to look at that copy of the ticket. Because my copy of your ticket says contact court for appearance date.
It says contact court for appearance date, where it says appearance date on or before. There's nothing.
Okay,
They
but
didn't
it
give me no
says,
time frame.
it says contact court for appearance date. That means the
long?
monkey's on your back to contact us.
I will
Why?
also on the bottom of the ticket, it says if you fail to contact court within the specified amount of time. There was no specified amount of time on here. I had no idea when I was supposed to contact court. I was dealing with trying to get my
Well, let
attorney.
me ask you this. Did you contact the court?
I was again, as I said, I had no sort of any time frame
Mr.
to
Crucell,
contact the
Mr.
court.
Crucell, this is gonna go a lot easier on everybody if you just answer the question I asked. I'm gonna give you plenty of chance to give me any argument you wanna give, okay? So don't feel that you have to force your argument into every question I ask. The question was, did you contact the court?
Well, Your Honor, I would have contacted.
I would say it's pretty ambiguous. The citation's unclear. That's the problem. Is your box checking form is unclear and is ambiguous and makes it hard to understand.
The court, I had to specify.
That's a yes or no. So I'm gonna take that as a no. You didn't contact the court. So after 14 days on a civil infraction, if we don't hear from the defendant, we enter default.
It was less than that actually when I was defaulted, Your Honor.
Less than that from what?
From whatever this was issued. And like I said, I was contacting
Well, once
attorneys.
again, I'm gonna draw your attention to the ticket.
This dude seriously cannot shut up, can he? Like, the
This
judge
dude
just
can't
made
shut
such
up.
a solid point here, and instead of letting it sink in, this guy just keeps running his mouth. I don't get why these sovereign citizen types feel the need to argue with literally every single question the judge asks. It is not rocket science at all.
Yeah, dude, it's not rocket science. That's how you win in court, is to challenge every aspect of everything that they do, is because they don't like to follow the law, and you catch them on not following the law, and you got grounds to appeal. So what are you talking about, bootlicker? Stop licking boots.
Judge is just trying to figure out if this guy intentionally skipped his court date, or if he genuinely didn't know about it. But nope. Instead of answering like a normal person, he's out here acting like he's above it all. Like, does the sovereign citizen even know that he's digging his own grave here? Like, I can't tell if these people have no idea what's going on, or if they just genuinely think they're the smartest person in the room. I really can't tell.
You think you're the smartest person in the room?
My ticket, which I think is the same one you got, is dated February 3rd.
Correct.
Okay, so that's when it was issued, February 3rd.
Correct.
So when was the default? When did you get notice of a default?
Actually, I know I got the thing in the mail. When did I get this? This says that, I don't think it specifies a date.
Well, did you make a note when you received it?
This said I don't remember exactly what date I received this in the
Okay.
mail, but this was scheduled for March 8th.
Okay.
So that was even less than
But what is that that's scheduled?
This says it was for my order, the motion affidavit saying that I was defaulted and saying that I needed to pay bond and a warrant would be issued. And I said,
Okay.
again, that was never.
And that's dated what?
This was dated 3/8. That I needed to appear
Okay.
on or before 3/8.
Okay, so that was March 8th. You were defaulted February 22nd.
Okay. Which then, again, there was no dates. I had no nothing. I had no
Okay.
notice
Well,
of any
well,
sort of.
well, once again,
appearance.
you're not hearing what I'm telling you. The monkey was on your back. The ticket clearly said you contact us. You never did.
And it also specifies right here, if you fail to appear by the date specified, and then on the bottom one, even for the other one, if you fail to answer a citation by date specified, there was no dates.
Okay.
There was no dates.
Okay.
Pretty good argument to me.
Do you have anything to add?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Mr. Crusoe brought this up when we were in front of the Honorable Judge Martin. She did set aside The default on the civil infraction, irregardless of whether or not he showed up.
Which I object to the setting
Sir,
aside.
do not interrupt the lady. Did she interrupt you?
No, you're.
Then don't do that. Let's be civil. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Green, Mr. Purcell did bring it up again with the Honorable Judge Green, and she declined or denied his motion based on the fact that it was moot because Judge Martin set it aside.
So the default's already been set aside.
Yeah.
Brother, why'd you just waste 5 minutes of my life?
Which I object to that because they.
You object to your motion being
No, I
granted?
object to them setting aside my motion.
This dude literally got exactly what he asked for at his last hearing, and now he's acting like he has no idea what's going on. Judge Martin, his old judge, actually went out of his way to set aside this guy's default because he filed a motion asking for it to be set aside. Like, the court gave him exactly what this guy wanted. And now he's strolling in here all confused about his default date, as if it's someone else's fault. These sovereign citizen types kill me, man.
These bootlicker types kill me, man. That's not what happened. Is that what you guys got? My understanding is they set aside the default, and then because the default was set aside, they didn't hear the motion, which is fine with me. Like, I get the judge's argument. Why are you wasting our time? You already got what you want. Even if the motion wasn't heard, what you want was already done. So there should have been no motion anyway. So yeah, but you know, these fraudulators just can't listen. They just like, ooh, I'm a bootlicker. These sovereign citizens are idiots.
They have no respect for the court, no respect for the process, or even the taxpayers who foot the bill for all this nonsense. Do they even realize how much time and money they waste by dragging these cases out with their made-up rules? What do you guys think about this guy so far? Should judges even entertain these type of people?
What are you talking about?
Or should they just start handing out jail sentences whenever they bring up this?
Oh my god, these guys are a waste of space. This dude is. Like, you're calling this guy a sovereign citizen because he's trying to represent himself. Like, how immoral are you? I don't get how immoral these people are. They like to clump everybody in this little box and then try to shame them just because they're trying to defend themselves and trying to actually follow the law and actually get due process. And then you accuse them of not doing that when that's exactly what they're doing. What a fucking moron.
This BS script stuff. Let's get back to the video.
No. Wait. Listen. She tells me Judge Martin set aside the default based on your motion.
Yes, but I was never told anything.
Oh, it was based on the motion.
So you want to argue about the fact that you got what you asked for?
No, what I'm saying is the fact that the due process was violated is what happened in this whole problem. When I was defaulted, due process was violated.
So what? She set it aside.
Listen, it was set aside to cause damages to me because of what happened with the default.
Well, explain to me how you were damaged.
First off, there's threats made against me, right? Clearly, he's threatening me to sue
No.
warrants,
I didn't ask you
threatening to
about
pay
threats.
money.
I said, how were you? You said you were damaged. I'm asking you, what was the damage?
By the fact that I was threatened to come in and pay money or warrants.
How was that damage?
And I was being threatened by Huron Police, which I have on record.
What's the damage?
What do you mean? The fact that I had to come in and pay money, or there'd been issues.
What money did you pay?
Huh?
What money did you pay?
$280. I had the receipt and everything. It was all attached to my motions. They just keep trying to set it aside, and Judge Green never said a word to me about any of that.
It's been set aside. Counsel just said, Judge Martin set aside the default. So what that means is, procedurally, it's like it's a brand new file.
All right, so my conclusion, this guy's not a sovereign citizen. He is doing what he thinks is proper. He understands more than this fraudulator, that's for sure. But he's kind of adding things in, like he's been hurt because they sent him a letter after they defaulted him saying he has to do something that he never really did. Then they set the default aside based off his motion, because that's what you do when you do a motion, is you get them to act properly. And now he is wasting. I'm on this side of the judge on this one. I don't know about you guys, but he seems to be handling this pretty well.
Understood?
Yeah, but that's especially now with the new Chevron overlay, that's just saying that she's just trying to set it aside, that there's no issues.
She didn't try to set it aside, she sat it aside.
But she can't. She can't just set my rights aside.
She's not setting your rights aside, she set a default aside because you asked her to.
Well, so if it's set aside, then the money should be returned, correct?
Well, I don't know, did she address the money?
No, she never did. No one did. I extended my motion.
Sir, I'm going to hold you in contempt the next time you cut her off.
There it is. That's the type of judge we need to take on these fools. Seriously, though,
these
looking
fools,
back
'cause
a
I don't
few
even know what I'm
seconds into
talking
that clip,
about.
to be fair, it was kind of tough for the sovereign citizen here to know
It's
if
not a
the
sovereign
judge was
citizen, you
talking to him.
moron.
But come on, no matter how you slice it, this guy is just such a tool. His argument.
If you're gonna use this label of sovereign citizen, at least use your label properly. You guys made up the fucking label. You guys use this label, so at least label the guy properly. He's not a sovereign citizen based off of your own fucking definition of sovereign citizen, you idiot.
Are all over the place, and I really, really, really wish we could just see his clown face while he tries to make these ridiculous points. Even if he didn't know the judge was talking to him or not, this dude really just needs to shut his mouth or get a lawyer because his arguments are making completely no sense. Like, if somebody has any explanation for his stuff here, I would love to hear that because I really try to base stuff off the law, and I really don't want to get too...
You base stuff off the law, please. I haven't heard one thing you based off the law except for bringing the Constitution up, which you have zero idea what the fucking Constitution even does.
down the rabbit hole for these
God,
idiots,
these people are morons.
At least the judge shut him up this time. Let's go ahead and dive back in to see if this idiot tries to interrupt again.
Thank you,
The first
fraudulator.
contempt, $100. The second contempt, a day in jail. Are we clear on the ground rules for my courtroom? Is that a yes for the
Yes, Your
record?
Honor.
Okay. I'm giving you all the time you need to talk. Don't talk over her.
Okay, understand. I'm sorry. There's just been a lot that's been going on with this.
And I'm the first time I'm seeing it, so I'm trying to get to the bottom of it.
You're right.
All right. So we started with what motion do you want to talk about first? You said your motion to set aside the default. That was granted by Judge Martin, is what I'm hearing from the prosecutor. So that motion's done. Would you agree?
As long as my money gets returned, then I guess it's taken
At
care
some point, trust me, your money will either get applied or returned. Next motion you want to.
No, I'll return first. I don't want you to apply to shit.
Violations of my fundamental rights and due process.
Okay, well, tell me more.
Okay.
You have, hold on, let me just cut to the chase. You have more than just the fact that you think you have a right to travel.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually,
And that's denied. I'll just cut to the chase. That's denied. I don't buy into that argument. Now, you can appeal that.
There you go. There's the due process violation right there. There you go. Now you got a due process violation. They won't even hear it. Won't even hear the argument. I'm a indoctrinated judge here. I believe that the indoctrination system has told me the way life is, so that's what I'm believing. That's pretty much his argument there. Okay, this is where he gets the sovereign citizen thing. This is the first time in this whole court proceedings where the sovereign citizen thing comes up.
That decision to the circuit court. You understand how that works? District court decisions you can appeal.
absolutely.
Okay, hold on. I denied that motion. We're not going to talk about that motion because I've denied it based on your argument that you have a right to travel and don't need a license. Is there anything else you want to hang your hat on for dismissal?
Well, I do object to the setting aside of my motion, Your Honor.
I'm not setting aside your motion. I'm denying your motion.
Well, denying, I object to the
You
denying.
can't
of my
object. You can appeal.
motion. But I'm just letting you know, I'm stating for the record that I am objecting to your denial of my appeal.
That's fine. Circuit court judges have bills to pay too, right? So you appeal me to the circuit court. Do you have any other argument why these cases should be dismissed?
That's well, honest, Your Honor. Like I said, I even have lawsuits. They've received my lawsuits to the Huron Township Police Department overall.
Hold on. I don't know anything about lawsuit. How would you suing the township work as a reason to dismiss these charges?
Because the initial traffic stop and everything was unlawful stop from the get. I was
Okay, but that's got
retaliating.
nothing to do with your lawsuit. That might be the basis of your lawsuit. So you want to talk about whether or not there was a valid reason for a
Yeah,
stop?
absolutely.
Then make the argument.
Your Honor, so prior to me being pulled over by this officer, I was actually in contact with several law enforcement officers that are friends, and actually two that are currently working within Huron that had confirmed I had every lawful right to be doing what I was doing. The one even pulled up to me and my wife at a gas station in town and in Sibley and Middlebelt, right near actually where I got pulled over. And we had discussed it and talked about it and went on about our day. And this was all prior to this incident. I had 2 other interactions with this officer where I specifically told him, I've already been confirmed and doing lawful, I'm well within my lawful rights. I have it documented. You need to go talk to the sergeant that I've been talking to and a couple other buddies, right? I gave him that opportunity. It was shortly after that. And I had that confirmation well prior to me even being pulled over. Okay. So then, this officer seen me leaving my house, pulling off my dead end dirt road, proceeded. Like I said, I even told him, I've already had this day. I've already addressed this. You need to go talk to the sergeant.
Right.
Chose not to. Pulled me over, walked up, just started demanding ID and everything from me. He wouldn't identify himself. None of that good stuff. And then now this is where it's all led to. And I informed him, I have body cams. I have my own recording. And like I said, I have a lot.
Okay, but
Okay, I wonder if he has records of this. He's saying he confirmed these rights. The best thing would be to get documentation of this, one form or the other. If you have to record it, whatever you can do, but just getting verbal confirmation like that, that's never going to help you out. You definitely got to try your hardest if you're going to get some kind of confirmation of your rights to, somebody that's higher up than this cop that pulled you over. Then make sure you do that. But yeah, it seems like this cop had no rights to pull him over. This is what happens a lot. If the cop knows you, and then they're just gonna pull you over for no reason, and then violate your rights, and then you got more problems. You gotta go do this, and then you're gonna have to go on offense and all that kind of stuff. So don't ever fucking talk to cops. How about that?
you started out by saying you wanted this dismissed because there was not probable cause for the stop.
Correct.
Okay? And then you went on to tell me how there was obviously a difference of opinion within the department about whether or not what you were doing was legal or not.
Well, I
Is that
specifically
a fair
stated.
summation?
What was that?
Is that a fair summation of what you just said? Some of the officers that you talked to said you could do that, and obviously the officer who wrote the ticket didn't think you could.
Correct.
Okay, so that's a difference of opinion there, which has very little, if anything, to do with the probable cause for the stop.
To be fair here, this guy's argument wasn't too bad compared to the usual sovereign citizen nonsense we see about jurisdiction and all that other BS. This guy is actually claiming that some officers told him it was okay to drive, but the one who gave him the ticket said he was in the wrong. Honestly, that's not the worst argument we've ever heard from these sovereign citizens. I mean, usually we see these sovereign citizens talk about jurisdiction, flesh and blood man, and all that other BS. So it is kind of a breath of fresh air to finally get some common sense, a little bit of common sense at least. Usually we see about 2 brain cells working in some of these sovereign citizens' head, but today, there might be 4 or 5, so, that's a big plus, but, I mean, I could see how he might be a little confused, but I think he's definitely playing dumb here.
You'd get some fresh air if you came up from licking the boot off. Stop licking the boot all the time, you get some fresh air.
Like, legally, the probable cause for the ticket was totally correct. You have to disclose your CPL if you're carrying, and on top of that, you need a valid driver's license too. Are you guys buying this guy's story? Because in my honest opinion, I don't believe a word this guy says. Let's go ahead and dive back in though.
Yeah, well, this fraudulator made a good point there. That's the point I made before, is you gotta get if you have a conversation, get it documented. Make sure it's in writing, make sure it's recorded, make sure it's someone that has actually authority. Rogue says they can always pull you over if they say they suspect the vehicle is stolen. That's usually one they use as a scapegoat. Yes, but they try to do that with when you cover up your VIN number and you don't have plates and stuff like that. They'll be like, well, this vehicle could be stolen, and then you just have to be like, prove it. Like, is there bolo out on this vehicle? Like, are you just, yeah, so they try that, but if you're skilled enough, know what's going on, they can't, that's not, they actually have to have a little bit more than just making up false stuff. It's kind of the same thing when they're trying to get your ID. It's like, yeah, are you suspecting me of a crime? You have proof that I stole this vehicle? Because from my understanding, this is my vehicle, so you do have proof this is not my vehicle. Like, you prove it. I don't have to prove shit to you. You're the one that has to prove it to me.
So I'm going to let the prosecutor explain her position on probable cause.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Defendant is requesting this court dismiss the case because of the accusation that operating an ORV on the roadway constitutes a blatant violation of his First Amendment rights and an improper attempt to regulate his constitutional freedom.
That's not his
In
argument.
his most recent motion, he does accurately cite Terry v. Ohio as controlling. This was plainly a Terry stop.
Well, hold on. His argument is there was no reason for the stop.
He does cite Terry v. Ohio in his newest motion.
Okay.
Because people submit that the investigatory stop exception in Terry v. Ohio controls the validity of the traffic stop. An officer may stop and briefly detain a person on the basis of reasonable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. Defendant claims that he was stopped without legal justification. Rather, defendant was stopped for operating an ORV on the roadway in violation of MCL 324.81122 as adopted by Huron Township ordinance. Pursuant to the United States v. Ferguson, so long as the officer has probable cause to believe that a traffic violation has occurred or was occurring, the resulting stop is not unlawful and does not violate the Fourth Amendment. On authority of state law and township ordinance, a person shall not operate an ORV which is not registered upon a public highway, street, or right of way. On the date and time of the offense, the defendant operated an ORV which was not registered, specifically an ATV on Middlebelt Road, a public highway in Huron Township. Additionally, during the course of the investigatory stop, defendant failed to provide a valid driver's license and failed to immediately disclose that he was a valid CPL holder and carrying a firearm, which is why he was cited.
All right.
Which I object to the.
Hold on. All right, so the one misdemeanor is operate the ORV on the roadway, and the other one is fail to display a valid license.
That's
Okay.
correct.
All right, so that's her response to your argument. They didn't have probable cause. What's your reply to her response?
Well, I object to her terms of operate. There's no evidence that I was operating anything.
Okay, let me stop you. I killed that when I said the whole traveling thing doesn't go anywhere with me. Operating and traveling, as you define operating, or as you define traveling, we define it operating. So hold on, I've already ruled on that issue.
Do you? Are you sure about that?
Decision to the circuit
Show me the
court.
definition.
We're not going to plow that field again. So now we're
We
talking
didn't plow
about
that field to
probable
begin
cause.
with.
What I just heard.
You didn't properly hear that motion, so how are we plowing that field? You just skipped right over that field. So what are you even talking about? You didn't even hear the argument on that one. You just jumped to the conclusion. Denied. I hear right to travel, denied.
Was the township has an ordinance that says nobody can operate an ORV on a roadway. Would you agree that's an ordinance in the township?
Your Honor, I may agree.
Yes
with
or
that.
no? Mr.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, stop.
How am I subject to it?
Argument or ordinance, and when I say valid, I don't mean if it's constitutional, if it's stood the test of a challenge. I mean if it's on the books.
Who's
right?
nobody?
If it's a valid ordinance.
Are you
and
nobody?
the officer sees you doing what that ordinance says you can't do, and he pulls you over, that's plenty of probable cause for the stop. So your motion to dismiss for lack of probable cause is also denied. Do you need me to clarify that ruling for your appeal reason?
Yes, actually, because Your Honor, I object to
What
the
do you
fact
not
that it's calling it an
understand? Sir,
ORV.
your objections mean shit to me, okay? I don't care what you're objecting to.
Objection, Judge.
Your objection means shit to me. You have rights. Hit me up on my my public line. It's 331-399-7911. We'll figure out how to get you into the Go Brunch. So when we do one of these other streams, you can come bring some knowledge to us. So one more time. 331-399-7911.
Judge, I don't like your response. I mean, I know it's the law and everything, but this super legit book I bought off Amazon says I can literally do whatever I want. It also says all I have to do is represent myself and scream objection anytime something goes wrong, and I'll be totally fine. Like, that's definitely what this guy read.
That's definitely what this guy read? Oh, I'm so smart. I just made up some book off of Amazon and then claimed he's reading this book. Yeah, you're supposed to object to something that you disagree with so you can bring it up to appeal. If you don't object to it, then you have no grounds to bring to appeal. hard concept for me to understand.
Like, who needs actual legal knowledge when you've got a self-published guide on Amazon telling you everything you want to hear, right? These sovereign citizens just crack me up, man. I mean, if anything, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to blame the schools for this one. They should really be teaching us the laws. I mean, unless you watch videos online about the law and whatnot, you're really not gonna know much as an average person. So even though these people are...
What law, though? What law? The statutes? Because that's law. Because some guy is God that got selected by the not majority of the people, the very limited, not even, yeah, because no one really actually votes, but they were selected by the slim majority, not even majority, why even slim majority? Not majority. And they're going to get to make up laws now, and now they're God. That's what you believe? That's what your indoctrination camps will teach you. Your indoctrination camps are going to teach you made up fucking law, and you don't even know law. You don't even know the fucking Constitution is. You already explained that to us.
Are very idiotic and delusional. There is a blame for it, and I'm gonna have to blame the schools in this one. Let me know if you guys agree with me on this, but I believe as kids, you know, we should grow up kind of reading the law and just at least understand basic laws like this stuff here. I know they teach it in driving school and whatnot, but I think it needs to be reinforced heavily. Let me know what you guys think. Let's dive back in.
I don't expect people to like every decision I make. That's why...
You're telling me you can't object? He can object. Is that what this judge is about to say? You have rights. Put freedom unchained in the subject box. I don't know what that means. For these people, anyone that represents themselves is it? Yeah, I know. That's the fucking moronicness. They're like, oh my god, if you represent yourself, you're a sovereign citizen. I feel like you're a little bit behind Charles, but that's all right. Watch whatever at any time. I do those too. A lot of the times live streams, I like rewind it. I'm always way far behind. I don't know what that means, but I'll put my phone number. You contact me. All right, let's play the video. I'll put my phone number in the comments for you. Contact me so we can figure out how to get you on Go Brunch.
There's an appellate process. So you keep saying, I object, I object, I object. I don't care. All right, it's not helpful for today's process. My decision to deny your motion to dismiss based on lack of probable cause is because there was probable cause, because there was a clear ordinance on the books that the officer thought you were violating. That gives the officer a reason to stop you. Do you have any other reasons why you think these matters should be dismissed today?
Yes.
So what was a reason? What was a clear reason? Like, you can't just assume somebody doesn't have a license or they're operating the motor vehicle without a license or without it being revoked. You can't just think it's he was revoked yesterday, so he must be revoked today. No, that's not how it works. He could have got it not revoked in one day. Like, you can't just assume that. You actually have to pull them over for a reason, like speeding, you know. Even though it's not an actual crime, you have to pull them over for violating your made-up fictional laws. At least go that far.
Absolutely. First off, they're trying to label what my private property is an ORV. It was not an ORV, and it's not even technically an ORV. If you look up the definition of ORV, it is not an ORV. If you look up the definition of automobile or vehicle or any of that sense,
bring the book.
That's what
Bring the definition.
It's not falling under an ORV.
That's how you win. Bring
They're
the
just
definition.
trying to label it as an ORV is what is happening.
Okay. That seems like that would be an issue for trial, for you to testify, maybe me to see some photographs, maybe the officer to testify, and then I'll decide whether or not it meets the definitions of the statutes. Would you agree with me? Because that seems like a triable issue.
I suppose, yes.
Okay, well, this isn't the trial.
Well, I understand
I don't
that.
think it's scheduled for trial. Right, this is just motion. All right. Any other issues that you want to hang your hat on as why it should be dismissed? It being these files.
Like I said, from the beginning.
It's not a phone call. It's not a phone number you can call. You can only text that number. It's a text-free number, so it's phone calls only. If you text me on that number, I can give you. Well, you can call me on Telegram too. If you find my Telegram, Telegram is you can go to t.me/freedomunchained and then I think from there you can find my personal Telegram number. You can call me on that. I don't know if I want to give my private number out. Unless I get to know you a little bit, but then maybe I'll share it with you.
It was like the officer had already been notified 2 times prior to this that what I was doing was lawful, that what I was doing was not an ORV, which I had stated to him.
But that's
witness to that
Mr.
as well.
Purcell, with respect, that's all your opinion. Obviously, the officer had a different opinion about all those things.
Well,
right?
The officer chose to retaliate against me is what happened, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Which I have the evidence and I have witnesses going on.
Or he had a difference of opinion about whether or not you were driving an ORV.
Or just didn't understand the laws.
No, he definitely didn't have probable cause.
But guess who gets to make those decisions at trial?
Well, honestly, at the trial, I'd request a jury trial, which is guaranteed.
Well, you can't get a jury trial on the civil infraction, but you can certainly get a jury trial on the misdemeanors.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you have anything else to be discussed today on motion day?
Well, yeah, as far as the disclosed CPL, like I said, I have, again, stating I have the body cams and I have my own recording.
But sir, stop. That's going to be an issue at your formal hearing, whether or not you violated that civil infraction. Once again, I got to have evidence, right? I got to take testimony. I'm going to hear from you. I'm going to hear from the officer that wrote the ticket. And then I'm going to decide at formal hearing whether or not what you did was reasonable or not reasonable. But today's just motion day. Today's not the trial. No testimony is being taken.
Oh, I understand that.
Okay. Anything else today?
Well, I guess that's no, but like I said, again, for the record, I do object to moving forward. I do object to anything moving forward from this point.
File your appeal.
No, that's fine. I will.
File your appeal.
I'm going to. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Now, the 200, let's get back to the $280. We'll talk about a jury trial date. Are you going to represent yourself at a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good luck. All right. Now, Mr. Purcell, I'm going to strongly suggest that you get an attorney involved in this. And we've got court-appointed attorneys that will be happy to talk to you from this standpoint. I'm not taking you to law school on the jury trial day. I'm going to assume.
I don't understand why people want to go to a jury trial when the jury is going to be citizens that are indoctrinated. So they're going to believe what the judge believes. But if you have a bench trial, then the judge actually has to reconsider his thoughts if you make a logical argument. That's going to be harder to do with the jury. So that's the problem with the jury trial and the right to travel thing, is that the jury is so indoctrinated. They're just going to be stuck in that mindset. Just like this Fraudulator channel that we're on. You can give this guy logic, law, all of that kind of stuff. Case law, you can give him case law after case law after case law, and he's still going to believe his indoctrinated theories. So that's the problem with jury trial, is that you're going to have to do a lot of convincing. And
treat you accordingly, that you know the rules of the game.
I understand, Your Honor.
You don't.
Oh,
you might say that. You don't understand the rules. Okay? How many jury trials have you had?
None, but I have all the evidence.
How many jury trials have you had?
Your Honor, none, but I have all the evidence.
The evidence isn't the rules. There are a lot of procedural rules that will trip you up if you don't know what you're up against, and you don't. I'm going to suggest to you that even if you want to handle your evidence presentation yourself, you might want to get an attorney involved to help you with the procedural rules. Because once again, I'm not going to take you to law school that day. I'm not going to.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's good to accept the public defender. Like Yusuf Else always says, use them as counsel. They can sit behind you. You can present your case, and then, you know, if you get caught up in the procedural part of it, you got that man to help you out. I think that sometimes, you know, when you're learning this and you're practicing this kind of stuff, it might just be better off to accept the counsel. Don't let him represent you, but accept him as counsel. Just because they have a bar card doesn't mean they have to act as under that bar card, they can still act as counsel. It's easier for the judge to accept them as counsel when they do have a bar card, but just because they're acting as counsel doesn't mean they're operating under that bar card. Just like the idea of you can have a license, but it doesn't mean you're always operating under that license.
I'm not going to subject the jury to that. It would be a waste of their time. You understand that? All right. Now, and I'm not trying to talk you out of a jury trial. Believe it or not, I'm trying to save you from yourself right now. If you want to have a bench trial, I will be much more lenient with you not knowing what you're doing procedurally, because then it's just our time. But when it's a jury in here, I'm going to run the most efficient jury trial I can, and that means I'm going to treat you like you're an experienced lawyer and know all the rules.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So if you decide, number one, that you don't want a jury trial, you want to do a bench trial, let me know long in advance of that date so we can save it for somebody else. Or two, if you want the assistance of an attorney, I will give you the ability to talk to one of our court-appointed attorneys and see if they can assist you in the manner you want to be assisted.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions?
Nope.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Discovery should be provided.
All right, that's a pretty good judge. I kind of like that judge. You can't be too critical with all of them, but some of them are shit. A lot of the women are horrible. Those judges are god fucking awful. I don't know why. They just have like this superiority complex when they're on the bench. These guy judges, they're a little better. Some of them act like women, but I don't have a problem with that guy. Did he cuss? Did I miss the cussing? Someone says he was swearing at him. I kind of missed that. That's probably not appropriate, but he did his best. I think both sides did their best. This guy's learning. He has arguments. Could have understood the idea of probable cause a little bit better. That would have helped him out. Officer definitely didn't have probable cause. He didn't argue it well. So that, gotta know the nuances of that kind of stuff if you want to argue it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that. Leave a comment. Share this video around to all your friends. Send them over to this channel. I'm going to be live streaming for 100 hours this month in December. So that's the plan. That's the goal. I think that's it. So like always, I'm going to leave you guys in the love and the light of the one infinite creator. Peace.